Hey guys, welcome to Passivize. My name is Jasjeet, and today you're going to learn how to build this beautiful 5-page, mobile-friendly custom blog with no coding required. By the end of this video, you're going to create a blog page for all of your posts, an about page, some categorical pages, and a contact page with a working contact form. I'll also show you some of the essential plugins you should get and how to use them. And I'll show you how to tweak your settings to start your blog off the right way. If you already have a fair idea of what web hosting is and how WordPress works, or if you just get bored with the theoretical stuff, you can click here to skip straight into the actual website registering and building phase. Otherwise, let's get right into it. Let's take a quick overview of everything that we're going to cover in this tutorial. First, I'll walk you through setting up your web hosting. Think of your website like a house. The land that you build your house on is called a server, which is basically just a massive computer somewhere in the world. A web host then is like the city council. They own all of this land and they're willing to rent it out to you so that you can build your house on it. You usually pay your web host in monthly or yearly installments, and the starter packages cost somewhere between $4 to $8 a month. Next, we'll cover registering a domain for your website. A domain name is simply the name of your website. For example, my website's name is passivize.com. When you first register with a web host, your website gets a server address like this, which isn't exactly easy to remember or share. So you can register a domain with a domain registrar and then point that domain towards your server. Fortunately, nowadays most web hosts, including the one we're going to use, also provide the domains themselves, so they take care of all the legwork when you sign up with them. All you have to do is just pick a name. Domain names are usually paid for annually and cost about $10 a year. Please don't skimp on this and try to get free domains that end in .tk or .co.nr. When you sign up for those, you don't really get full control over your domain name, and those domain registrars can and will delete your domain without any notice if they need to. They also usually come with some catch, like having to advertise for the registrar on your home page, and they're just generally the mark of a low-quality website. The next step is installing WordPress using their infamous 5-minute website installation. WordPress is a type of software known as a content management system, or CMS. It's basically a platform that lets you easily customize your site, add text, images, plugins, all with an easy-to-use point-and-click graphical interface. WordPress just sits on your server, and all of your website files exist inside the WordPress software. And WordPress is available for free from wordpress.org. After that, I'll show you how to create posts and pages for your blog and how to design your blog to make it look amazing using incredibly versatile WordPress themes. Themes are pre-made designs made by designers or developers that allow you to change the entire look of your website in just one click. There are tons of free themes out there made specifically for different types of websites: photography and design portfolios, news websites, business websites, and so on. And finally, we'll add some extra functionality to our website and make a few extra customizations using plugins. Plugins are basically just ready-made, neat little packages of code. When you install a plugin, it dumps all of that new code into your WordPress software, and that gives you awesome new functions like creating a photo gallery or creating a contact form so your users can get in touch with you. They're as easy to install as apps on your phone, and they prevent you from ever having to dig into the WordPress code yourself. Now let's talk about why we're using WordPress over other CMSs like Drupal or website builders like Wix and Squarespace. As of 2017, 28% of all websites on the internet are powered by WordPress, including TechCrunch, Bloomberg Professional, Beyonce's website, BBC America, and of course, all of my own websites. And this is primarily because WordPress has the most intuitive, easy to use UI, especially with third-party plugins like Themify or Divi that take drag and drop website building to a whole other level. And such widespread use has its benefits. WordPress has by far the most number of third-party plugins or themes over any other CMS or platform out there. If you ever run into a problem, chances are somebody has already faced that same issue, so you can find solutions online really easily at stackoverflow.com or on WordPress's own support forums. If there's ever a utility or design feature that starts becoming popular, like the parallax effect, you can bet that somebody is going to create a super easy implementation for WordPress. Because WordPress has become so big, most popular web hosts these days are building in one-click WordPress installs, which is exactly what it sounds like, one click to install WordPress. And there are a few other technical reasons, but hopefully you're sold on WordPress so far. I also just want to quickly mention the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org because this seems to confuse people quite a bit. WordPress.org provides you with the WordPress software. You can download it from there, work on it offline, manually upload it to your server, basically do whatever you want with it. WordPress.com provides you with WordPress hosting. It gives you free hosting, a free domain, and it comes with WordPress pre-installed. The problem is WordPress.com is incredibly limited and it gives you almost no control over your website. It gives you an incredibly limited storage quota. Your domain has to start with WordPress.com. You can't even edit files directly on your server. You get no customer support, and WordPress ads will feature on your site, even though you can't put your own ads on there. All in all, you get what you pay for and you're paying nothing. And that brings us to the web host we're going to use, Bluehost. Throughout my time as a web developer, I've consistently recommended Bluehost to all of my clients, family members, and friends. First of all, they're WordPress's officially recommended hosting provider. WordPress claims on their website that Bluehost is designed and built with exclusive technology to run WordPress reliably. Honestly, that should be enough of a reason right there. Secondly, it's dirt cheap. A whole month of hosting costs between $4 to $8 depending on your package. It's also really easy to set up. You get a free domain which is set up for you, one-click WordPress install is built in, and now you even get a free SSL certificate, which secures your website and also gives you a minor ranking boost in Google search. They also offer 24/7 support, and they're willing to offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, you get a refund. All right, with all of that out of the way, we can finally get into building our website. First, we need to sign up for our domain and hosting from Bluehost. I've partnered with Bluehost to get you up to 50% off of your hosting plan. So click on the link in the description below or go to passivize.com/Bluehost to get your discount. This link is an affiliate link, by the way, which means I do get a small commission from Bluehost, which helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. Once you're on the homepage, click on the Get Started Now button. This will take you to the pricing plans page. I'd recommend starting with the basic plan since you can upgrade at any time if you need to. Choose the plan you want. I'm going to use the basic plan for this tutorial, and it'll take you to the domain page. If you've already registered a domain, you can enter it here. We're going to sign up for a new free domain. Since I'm creating a personal blog, I'm just going to enter my name and my initials. Domain names are of course an important part of your brand, but don't let worrying over the perfect name stop you from getting started. Now, unless you have a valid reason, I'd recommend sticking with the .com extension, which is by far the most popular. Even if any of the other extensions are applicable to your organization, they can have an indirect negative effect on your search engine rankings, simply because they're harder for users to remember. Click Next, and you're now brought to a Create Your Account page. Fill in your account information and be sure to double check your email address, as you'll get emailed a receipt of payment, a copy of your login credentials, and so on. Below that, you'll see your package information. Account Plan shows you the terms of your hosting package. As you can see, the longer you purchase your hosting for, the lower the monthly cost. The setup and domain are both free. Make sure domain privacy protection is checked so that all of your private information remains hidden. However, I would recommend keeping Site Backup Pro, Search Engine Jumpstart, and Site Lock Security all unchecked. I'll be showing you how to get all of their functions for free through WordPress plugins later on in this tutorial. Below that, you'll fill in your payment information, then agree to the terms of service, click Submit, and you'll now see a confirmation page. Click on No Thanks, and Bluehost will now inform you that your purchase was successful. Click on the Create Your Password button to finish your account registration. Enter a password for your account and click Next. Then click on the Login button and you should be automatically logged in. Welcome to your Bluehost dashboard. For the most part, you won't be visiting here often, since we're going to be directly accessing WordPress to make any changes. But it's good to know this dashboard exists in case you want to access more advanced settings like browsing your website files or changing your domain name. For now, scroll all the way down to the website section and click on Install WordPress. Select your domain name, leave the directory field empty, and click Next. You might receive a warning saying your install directory already exists. This is because Bluehost has already added some files to our server, but we can go ahead and overwrite those. Check the confirmation box and click Next once again. On the admin information page, you can change your site name, email address, and your WordPress username and password. Note that this won't change your Bluehost login credentials. These are for WordPress only. Make sure the box that says automatically create a new database is checked. Agree to overwrite. Accept the terms and conditions and click Next. Wait a few minutes for your installation to complete. Once that's done, click on the View Credentials link. You'll now see the login credentials and the URL for your website. Save these details somewhere and in the URL bar, type in your domain followed by a / and wp-admin. This is the URL you'll use every time you want to log into your WordPress dashboard. Type in your WordPress username and password. You can also click on Remember Me if you don't want to enter these details every time, and then click on the Login button. Now, before I explain or do anything, I want to get rid of all of this bloat that comes with the one-click installation. So to start things off, click on this Plugins button down here on the left. Scroll down and select Everything. Then select Deactivate from this menu and click Apply. Basically, this gives us a fresh WordPress installation to work with, without all of the annoying pre-installed plugins, just the way WordPress was meant to be. Okay, that's much better. Now we can click on the site name up on the top left to see what our site looks like. And there you go. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of a live website. Easy as that. It doesn't even look half bad, but it's kind of bare and generic at the moment. Now it's time for the fun part, installing and customizing a theme. Click on your site name again to go back to the admin page. This is your WordPress admin dashboard. It's where you do all of the customization you need to build your website. On this front page, you can get a quick glance at how your site is doing and make a few quick changes like drafting a new post. This area might look a little different depending on what themes and plugins you have installed, but don't worry about it for now. You can also just close these sections by clicking on the arrows if you want to clear up some of the clutter. For the most part, you'll do your customization using this toolbar on the left. We'll get into most of these sections in this tutorial, so you'll get to know them well. But for now, hover over the Appearance section and click on Themes. As you can see, the current active theme is 2017. To add a new theme, click on the Add New button to open the WordPress theme repository. Here you can browse thousands of completely free WordPress themes that are created by designers or developers over the world and reviewed and approved by WordPress. You can filter these themes by featured or popular, or you can use the feature filter, which lets you select the exact features you want your theme to have. I want to be able to create a custom header, and I'm going to be creating a blog. And then I'll click Apply Filter. You can then click on these themes to see a preview of what they would look like when applied to your website. From there, you can directly install them. Click on the X button to go back to the theme repository. Go ahead and take some time to find a theme that you're happy with. If you're not satisfied by any of the themes here, or if you're looking for something with a lot more extra features, you can also head over to themeforest.net, where they have over 10,000 themes. They are mostly paid themes, but ThemeForest does release a few premium themes for free every month, so keep an eye out for that. I'm going to use a beautiful minimal theme called Shamrock, which is a blogging-centric theme. Your theme might not have text and images in the same place, but the editing process is pretty much the same, so you don't have to use this theme to follow along. However, I'm choosing this theme because it's great for you to learn with. It's clean, it's easy to use, and it implements the basic WordPress theming principles that most themes use. Learning with a drag and drop builder really ties you down to a single theme. So let's install the theme, and then activate it. And now let's take a look at our new and improved website. And it's looking pretty nice already, nice and clean. Before we customize our site any further though, let's look at how to add some content so that we can actually see the changes that we're making. So head back over to the dashboard and click on the Posts section. We're going to be adding our own posts, so click on the trash button under the Hello World sample post to remove it. Then click on Add New Post. This is your post editor, the place where you'll be spending most of your time adding content to your website. The template is pretty simple. Title goes up here, article content goes below it in the visual editor. If you don't have any content right now and you just want to follow along, you can download the copyright-free articles and images I'm using in this tutorial. Check the video description for a link to those. Go ahead and write a simple, catchy title that clearly explains what your blog post is about. And then add a little bit of text in the content area. I'm just going to copy the content I have prepared. Make sure you're using the visual editor, by the way, and not the text editor, unless you're going to write some code. You're probably already familiar with these formatting tools. They're just like Microsoft Word or any other word processor. Just be sure to click this button down at the end to see a second row with more options. Because of the way themes work, you really want to format and organize your articles as well as you can. Make sure you've got a good hierarchy of headings and subheadings. Make sure you're using bullet points where you need to, instead of just using dashes or tabs, because themes target these specific things. For example, if the theme creator decides that all block quotes need to be large and visible and colorful, well, to make them look like that, you need to format your quote with this block quote button up here so that WordPress knows what theme styles to apply to it. Using these formatting tools also ensures that your content is consistently styled across your whole website, and of course it makes your posts easier to read. I'm going to bolden my opening statement. Then I'm going to add some block quote formatting to the testimonial here. You can also add links to other websites or to your own posts and pages. I'm going to select some text and click on this hyperlink button. Then click on the little gear to open up the settings for this link. Type in the URL or select a page within your website. It's best to select Open in a new tab when linking to another website. That way readers can see whatever you link to, close it, and then they'll be back on your web page right where they left off. Now I'm going to scroll down a bit and format this list properly with bullet points. Alright, now we've got a little too many blocks of text here, so let's add an image. Images are all stored in your media library here, and you can access them and upload more from the media page. But for now, let's just use the Add Media pop-up by clicking on this button. Click Select File, or just drag and drop a file onto this pop-up to add the image. Give your image a nice title and always add the alt text. This text shows up if the image fails to load, and it helps a bit with your Google search rankings. And most importantly, alt text allows visually impaired users who use screen readers to easily understand what the image is about. Insert the image into your post, and then you can move it around, position it as you like, change its alignment, all just basic word processing stuff. And lastly, if you want to embed a YouTube video, just copy and paste the video URL over and you're good to go. Now, because we're using a blogging theme, all of our posts are going to show up on the front page of our website. And we want these post images to show up like this, so we don't just have text posts all over the front page. To do that, scroll down and click on Featured Image, and select or upload an image just as you did earlier. Make sure to add a category for your post like video or review or whatever best classifies what kind of post it is or what kind of content it contains. We're going to use this in just a few minutes. Click on Add New Category, type the category name, and click on the Add New Category button. In the future, you can just tick the relevant categories here. If you haven't finished your blog post and you want to come back to it later, you can click on Save Draft and no one else will be able to see it. I've completed my post, so I'm going to go ahead and publish it. I can either publish it immediately or schedule some time in the future for it to be automatically published. This kind of automation is really useful. Say you go on a vacation for a month, you can crank out some content early and then have weekly posts go out in your absence while you're sipping Kahlua on a beach somewhere. Alright, it's published, and now I can click this View Post button or on the permalink to see the post. Here's our title, publish date, category, author, and the article with an image, a YouTube video, and our links, all of which of course open in a new tab. Now, sometimes you might have trouble with YouTube videos showing up in random dimensions like this. If you play the video, it's going to squeeze to fit into the frame, and you're going to get these black bars at the top and the bottom. In this case, you need to write a little embed code to change the height and width. Click on Edit Post and delete your YouTube video. Now type out this embed code, paste your YouTube link, and then close the embed tag like this. You can experiment with the height and width here to suit your theme. Now click on Update and see how it looks. Perfect. Now if we go to the home page, we can see our new post appearing here automatically, along with the featured image and a little excerpt from our article. Awesome. Now go back to the dashboard and create a couple more posts. Don't worry about adding lots of content yet if you don't have it. Just add some temporary posts for this tutorial and you can delete them later if you want. Now let's take a look at adding pages to our site. Pages are primarily for adding content that doesn't change too often over time and is usually about your website or about you rather than actual content on your topic. Visually, they differ from posts depending on your theme, but generally they don't really have an author or a publishing date, they don't contain social media sharing buttons or allow users to comment on them because they're just static informational pages. Click on the Pages section and delete the sample page. And then click on Add New. Let's first create the About page, which will contain all the information about you and your website and tell the readers what they can expect to see. This is pretty much one of the most important pages on your website, and on some of my websites it ends up getting more hits than any other page, so make sure it's captivating. I'll just give it a title, copy over the information from my site, make sure the formatting is okay, add an image, and publish it. If you don't plan on adding a sidebar or widgets to this page, you can click on Template and select Full Width Page so that you don't have an empty space where we're going to add the sidebar. Let's check what our page looks like. Okay, looking good. Now let's create another page for the contact form. Give it a title like Contact Us, and for now, just publish this empty page without any information in it, because we're going to add a contact form once we get to the plugin section. Now we need to customize the look and feel of our website to make it stand out. Click on Customize under Appearance. Click on Site Identity and enter a site title and tagline. Hopefully something not as terrible as this. The site icon is your favicon, this little guy up here. You can add and select an image from the media repository just like you did with posts and pages. Make sure whatever logo or image you want to use is at least 512 pixels wide and tall. You may have noticed that with every change made here in the toolbar, the preview is updated in real time. To apply these changes to your live site, you have to click on the Save and Publish button. Next, we're going to create this navigation menu so users can access important pages from anywhere on your website. We could add the menu from this toolbar setting here, but it's not as comprehensive or as intuitive as the dashboard, so click on the X to go back, and click on Menus under the Appearance section. Give your menu a name, let's call this menu Primary Menu, and go ahead and create it. Check the box that says Main Navigation so that the menu appears at the top of your page. Now we can add items to the menu from this list. Click on View All to see a list of all of your pages. Select the Home, Contact, and About pages and click Add to Menu. As you can see, the home page is a direct link that takes us to our site URL. If we take a look at our final website, we have a couple more menu items here. These are created using the categories we gave our posts earlier. For example, if I click on the Food button, it will take me to a page that will only show the posts that belong to the food category. So to do that, click on the Categories button on the menu creation page, take the categories that are important enough to be visible in the main menu, and click Add to Menu. You can reposition these menu items by dragging them up and down, and you can remove them by pressing the arrow and clicking the Delete button. Click on Save Menu, and let's take a look at our functioning menu. We've got our home page, our About page, the categories, and our currently empty Contact page. But we're still missing these social media buttons on the left. So let's go back to the menu screen and add another menu. Give it a name, and click Create Menu. Now open the Custom Links section. In the URL field, enter your Facebook page link, and in the link text, type in Facebook. And then click Add to Menu. Be sure to type the link text exactly as I have, so that the theme recognizes it and places the appropriate icon in the menu. If you're using a different theme, check the theme's details for how to add these icons. Do the same for Twitter and Google+, and any other platform you wish. And then make sure to check the social menu box. Click on Save and Publish. And now let's check it out on our page. I'll click on the Facebook icon, and we're taken to the Facebook page. Awesome. Let's go back to the Customize page under the Appearance section. And click on Colors. You can change the colors your theme uses if you have a different color scheme in mind. When I change the text color, you can see the colors change in the preview. The accent color is used for links and buttons, like in our menu. The headings color is used specifically for heading text, and so on. If you're having a little trouble coming up with a creative color palette, check out Adobe Cooler at color.adobe.com. You can explore thousands of user-rated color schemes here, or create your own if you're feeling artistic. You can experiment with this for hours. I'm just going to click on Default to reset my changes for now. The rest of this menu can be pretty heavily theme specific, so without lingering too long, we'll run through all of the options, and then we can move straight on to the plugins and the sidebar. The header customization menu allows you to set a logo for your header instead of the text. You can also choose whether or not to display your site description, social icons, and search bar in your header. The blog customization menu allows you to change the general settings for your blog page, which in this case is the front page of our website. RTL mode, or right to left mode, allows you to change the justification of your website from right to left. You can choose to include a sidebar or to extend your blog page's width to the entire width of the web page. You can disable all featured images or set a default featured image, which will show up if you don't manually add one to your post. You can choose whether to display the category, date, author, reading time, and comments. You can enter how long this little excerpt from your article should be, and even define your own ending to the excerpt. And finally, you can select whether you'd like users to be able to jump to numbered pages of your posts, or simply traverse pages one by clicking on the classic older posts and newer posts buttons. The functions of the single post customization menu are almost identical to the blog menu we just saw, but they only apply to post pages. When editing these options, make sure to open up one of your posts in your live preview so you can view the changes that you're making. The image sizes customization menu allows you to change the length to width ratio of your featured images. I wouldn't suggest messing with the settings your theme sets here. The static front page customization menu allows you to change your front page from a blog page to a static page you've created. It's often useful, especially for businesses, to create a front page that draws users into specific areas of your website, rather than pushing them straight into your blog posts. If you change the front page, be sure to select which page contains your blog posts as well. The additional CSS customization menu allows you to write some extra scripts to manipulate some of the more specific theme styles. Do not touch this if you're not familiar with CSS, or you might end up breaking your entire website design. Now that we've got our content and most of our customization done, we can move on to the plugins, and then we'll take a look at fixing our sidebar. First, let's add that contact form missing from the contact page. Click on the Plugins section to see a list of the currently installed plugins, all of which we deactivated earlier. You can delete them if you want, but as long as they're not activated, they won't cause any conflicts. Click on Add New, and then search for a plugin called Contact Form 7. You can see that this plugin has over 1 million active installs, a 4.5-star rating, and is updated quite often. There are even third-party plugins made just to add more features to this plugin. Click on Install Now, and click Activate. Once the plugin is activated, you'll have a new menu item called Contact. Click on it and you'll see a default contact form already created by the plugin. Next to the name of the form, you'll see something called a shortcode. A shortcode can be pasted into your visual editor to tell WordPress which plugin to use and to tell the plugin what you want it to do. The plugin will automatically generate the shortcode for you, even if you do make any changes to your form, so don't worry too much about the specifics. Copy the shortcode. Go back to your pages. Open up the Contact Pages editor and paste the shortcode here. So here we're telling WordPress, hey, I want to use the Contact Form 7 plugin, and we're telling the plugin that we want this form, Contact Form 1, with the ID 36. Save the changes and view the page. And there's our contact form. When a user clicks the Send button, by default an email will be sent to the address you used to sign up for Bluehost. Let's go back to the Contact section and click on the Edit button under Contact Form 1. If you're not familiar with web design, this page might look a little daunting at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite simple. Everything between the starting of a label tag and the ending of a label tag is one form item. Let's say we want to remove the subject field from our form. Here, where it says subject, remove everything between and including the label tags. Easy as that. Now let's say we want to add a website field to the form so users can leave their website names. Let's copy one of the other fields, paste it here, and then remove everything between the label tags. Type out the label you want the user to see above the field, and then since we're adding a website, click on the URL button. You can select whether or not entering a website is required, give your field a name, and click Insert Tag. Now save this form. Visit the website, and you can see that the subject field is gone and a new website field has taken its place. Now go back to the contact section again, edit Form 1, and click on the Mail tab. This tab shows you where the mails will be going and what they'll look like. Scroll down to the message body. We're sending the name, email, subject, and user's message, but we just added a new website field. So let's remove the subject, write website, and in square brackets, write the name of the field we created earlier. I named mine your-website. It'll be up here in the list of mail tags too. Once you're done, you can save this form and test it out by sending yourself an email. That's it for this plugin. Now let's go to Add New under the Plugin section once again and search for a plugin called Updraft Plus. Updraft Plus makes a complete copy of your website and can automatically upload your backup to Dropbox, Google Drive, and a bunch of other cloud services. Install and activate the plugin. Then under the Settings section, click on Updraft Plus Backups. Click on the Settings tab. There are tons of settings to delve into with this plugin, and they're all pretty self-explanatory, but here are the most important ones. The first two fields that let you decide how often your files and database are backed up and how many total backups are kept at one time. And this section that lets you decide where to back up your files. Whichever service you select, you will need to authenticate your account so that the plugin has permissions to back up the website files there. I'm just going to authenticate my Dropbox account. Click on your service, scroll down, and save the changes. Now I'm told to authenticate my account. Click on this link, enter your details, and sign in. The next steps will depend on your cloud service, but Updraft will walk you through it. For Dropbox, I just need to click on Complete Setup. I can see my Dropbox details up here, which means it's successfully authenticated. You can then go back to the Current Status tab and click on Backup Now to create your first full site backup. Make sure that all these boxes are checked and click Backup Now. If anything ever goes wrong with your website, even if your entire server gets wiped out, you can just install WordPress again, add this plugin, and click the Restore button to fully restore your website. Alright, my backup is completed. I can go to Existing Backups to check the details. I'd recommend changing your backup settings to backup at least once a week. Next, we're going to add a search engine optimization plugin to help our articles appear higher in Google search rankings. Before we do that though, we have a couple of inbuilt settings to change that'll already give us an SEO boost. Under Settings, click on Permalinks. This page lets you select your URL format. Right now, it's set to our domain followed by the post name, which is exactly what we want. Not only is this option the easiest to share, it's also great for SEO not to have a massive, unrecognizable URL. Then click on Reading under Settings and make sure that Discourage Search Engines is not checked. Now let's add the plugin as usual. Go to Add New under Plugins, search for Yoast SEO, install it, and activate it. You might immediately notice Yoast telling you to fix some issues with your site. Don't worry about that for now. You can click on the new SEO button in your menu to see the Yoast dashboard, where you can get details on these issues, change SEO settings, or integrate with other analytical tools. For now, open any one of your posts or pages in the editor. Scroll all the way down and you should see a new section for Yoast. This snippet shows you what your post or page will look like as a search result in Google. You can click on Edit Snippet to change this, and Yoast will warn you when your text is too long or too short. You can also type in a focus keyword to tell Yoast what search queries you're targeting. The plugin will analyze your article and tell you how you can better target that keyword and how you can improve SEO in general. For example, it's currently telling me that my focus keyword doesn't even appear in my title, which is a big mistake as far as SEO is concerned. Yoast SEO is a game changer if used properly, but this is all a little too advanced for a beginner tutorial. You can find links in the video description if you want to learn more about SEO and improving your site's rankings. That just about does it for the essential plugins, but I'd like to quickly mention a few more optional plugins that you might find useful. Relevancy is a search plugin that replaces your default WordPress search function. By default, WordPress lists search results by date instead of relevance, which is kind of ridiculous. With Relevancy, you can choose what the search includes, pages, posts, specific categories, and you can sort the order that the search results appear in. SumoMe is an all-in-one marketing toolbox plugin. It lets you create opt-in forms for newsletters, add sharing buttons to your website, analyze heat maps of where users are clicking on your website, and so on. TinyMCE Advanced is a plugin for your visual editor. It simply gives you a more powerful editor with more features like easily adding tables into your posts. Regenerate Thumbnails is a simple utility plugin that enables you to regenerate the thumbnails for your uploaded images. If you ever change image dimensions or change the ratio like our theme allowed us to do, your thumbnails in the media repository might break and stop appearing. Running this plugin solves this quite common issue with a single click. Okay, that's it for plugins. We're almost done. Now we're going to go ahead and modify our sidebar. Click on Widgets under the Appearance section. On the left, you'll see a list of available sidebar widgets, and on the right, you'll see what your sidebar looks like right now. The Shamrock theme allows you to set different sidebars for your homepage, posts, pages, and archives. To add a widget, you can simply drag it over and drop it onto the sidebar. Drag it up and down to reposition it. To remove a widget, click on the arrow to bring down its menu and click Delete. Let's add this About the Author widget. This widget doesn't exist by default in WordPress, so we have to install a plugin to add it. Once again, go to Add New under Plugins. Search for Author widget and install and activate the MEX Smart Author widget. Now go back to the Widgets menu under Appearance, and the new widget will be in our list. Drag it over to the sidebar and save it. Now, when we look at our page, the widget doesn't look particularly great. That's because we haven't set up an author profile yet. Under the Users section, click on Your Profile. Change your first name, last name, nickname, and display name. And then add a little introduction that you'd like to appear in the widget inside this biographical info field. Again, something preferably not as horrible as what I'm writing. Scroll down and click on Update Profile to finalize your changes. And now when we look at the sidebar, all of our information is there. This information also shows up in the About the Author section at the bottom of each post. Remember, you can remove this section through the single post customization menu. Our website is pretty much done, but we still haven't covered some of the settings in our dashboard. So let me quickly give you a tour of everything we didn't use. Under Dashboard, we have an Updates section. Here you can update your plugins whenever a new version is released. Just select the plugins and click Update Plugins. The WordPress software itself updates automatically. It's a good idea to keep all your plugins up to date to prevent any features on your site from breaking and to keep your site as secure as possible. In the comments section, you can moderate comments users leave on your posts and remove any inappropriate or spam comments. The editor, under both Appearance and Plugins sections, is used to modify the theme and plugins code. I wouldn't suggest messing with this even if you are a coder, because when themes and plugins are updated, they will overwrite any changes you make anyways. The import and export options in the Tools section allow you to import and export posts, pages, comments, categories, and more to and from other sources like Tumblr or other WordPress installations. The General Settings page is pretty self-explanatory. You can change basic settings like your site title and tagline, your admin email address, and the format in which dates appear on your posts. The Writing Settings page lets you change the default post category and set up a way to publish posts using email. The Reading Settings page lets you select how many blog posts should be visible in a single blog page. It also lets you change your front page to a different static page you've created instead of displaying blog posts, just as we did earlier from the Customize menu. The Media Settings page lets you change the settings of your media repository. I wouldn't suggest changing these settings, but if you do, create a backup of your website before, and afterwards be sure to use the Regenerate Thumbnails plugin. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of this tutorial. Congratulations on building a professional WordPress website. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, subscribe to this channel or visit my website, passivize.com, where you can learn how to monetize and market your website. And that is it for this video. I'll see you next time.